That's it. All right. You heard what Kyle said. He said Sugar by second round knockout.
Buddy.
I say that's not gonna happen. But I know Trey, you have Sugar Sean O'Malley. So give us your reasoning why you're gonna be wrong this Saturday.
Well, I've told you all the whole time now. Now listen, we know Petr Yan has a fast pace. Okay. We know he likes to have that high motor, high energy, always pushing forward, always walking his fighters down, always trying to keep him on the back foot. But what do we also know? We also know Petr Yan, even though he does that, he starts slow. Yeah, he's walking him down, but he's not necessarily throwing that much. He's not necessarily going for the kill at the beginning. He's trying to get into a fight, size him up, figuring him out, let him know, hey, I'm coming in on you. Now listen. Sean O'Malley, what is he known for? Well, yeah, he's known for the tattoos, the hair. He's known for the flashy stuff. He's known for dribbling on people while hitting them, doing a crossover while knocking them out, throwing the fist down on the mat. But he's also known for being a great counter striker. Now, it's very simple. You put somebody in there overly aggressive, always trying to push forward, always trying to knock you down, and you match them up with a counter striker. Well, to me, that sounds like a matchup of a lifetime. That sounds like a great place to be for that counter striker, because he's going to be coming in, he's going to be aggressive, he's going to show, and Petr Yan will show his face a couple times where he can get hit. And if Sean O'Malley connects, I'm telling you right now, Sean O'Malley will be knocking him out. He will be knocking him out. Now, you can say what you will, okay? You can say Sean O'Malley hasn't fought a real competitor. You can say Sean O'Malley, maybe he's lost a fight. Or maybe he hasn't. Maybe he was cheated. Maybe he was hit in the one spot on his leg that made his leg go to sleep, that if anybody got hit there, you guys would be whining and crying and wouldn't be able to do nothing. Y'all would be in a wheelchair. Now, Sean O'Malley will win this fight. He had freaking Pedro quitting the fight on his last fight. And that's a legend, apparently. Somebody who's been in the game for a while. Somebody who's a dog. This is real competitor. He's actually going to get challenged in this fight. Well, he made that dude look dumb. He made him fake an eye poke, fake get kicked in the nuts, and then he quit.
This is hard to bear.
What do you mean this is hard to bear? I'm the source. I'm the one who gets it done. I'm 4-1 on the last card we did. What did you do? I don't even know if you got one fight right on the last card.
What was the last card? I forgot the last time you were here since you canceled like 3 straight weeks. But I've been pretty hot.
3 straight weeks.
Trey, let me tell you. Listen, I like a lot of what you said. Actually, there was some logic in all your arguments. As surprising as that sounds, let me tell you what you had right. Let me tell you what you had wrong. Petr Yan, yes. Petr Yan, a slow starter, absolutely. Sean O'Malley, great counterpuncher, absolutely. You know who was also a great counterpuncher? Corey Sandhagen, who Petr Yan defeated. But before you get to where I know where you're going, no. Corey Sandhagen is a great counterpuncher.
What's the difference? Shorty Corey?
What's the difference between Sandhagen and Sean O'Malley? I'll tell you. Sean O'Malley has more power. I'll give you that. And you mentioned the power. If he catches Petr Yan slipping, he's going to hurt him. And Sean O'Malley does. Look, you got to give it to him. Has great knockout power. But Sandhagen has been fighting the top of the division.
No. What else does Sean have? He's got more than just knockout power over Corey. He is a better counter striker.
Okay, but what does he also have?
He's taller. He's lankier. He's got better combos.
What I can tell you that worries me for Sean O'Malley is Corey Sandhagen is proven as far as he could take a good shot. Do we even know if Sean O'Malley could take a good shot? I mean, let's be honest. You might say, oh, it's not his fault he doesn't get hit. Okay, but it's also not his fault that he hasn't fought the top 15, so we just don't know. He hasn't fought the top of the division, right?
Listen, nobody wants to take this fight with Sean O'Malley.
You think that's why he's not fighting the best? He was supposed to fight Frank Yeager, but he didn't want to fight in New York to pay a bunch of taxes. I'm not blaming him for not fighting the top of the division.
And guess what, Miller? No. Guess what? He would have fought Frankie Edgar. He would have knocked him out worse than Frankie Edgar has been getting knocked out. And people would have said, oh, yeah, but that's Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar sucks. He's old. He's a bum now. That doesn't mean anything.
Possibly. I'm not saying that Sean O'Malley doesn't fare well against the top of the division. We just don't know if he can take a punch. But I will tell you one thing, Trey. We know something he can take. A leg
Don't
kick.
say nothing gay.
A leg kick. You saw what Cheeto did to that leg, and Cheeto didn't even get going. He didn't even get to warm up the car all the way. As soon as Sean O'Malley faced adversity, it started getting really ugly for Sean O'Malley. Now you throw in.
He couldn't even feel his leg. He couldn't even feel down to his foot. He didn't know where his foot was at on the mat because his leg was numb. Now you look at all the fights Sean O'Malley's been in. You look at dudes that they were trying to come in after that fight. They were trying to give Sean O'Malley leg kicks. And how did that work out for him? How did that work out for them? Sean O'Malley is freaking 16-0. And people want to knock him and come at him and say that he's
16-1. 16-1. I rewatched that Cheeto fight. I'm gonna watch that on Twitch again. Cheeto looked like he was gonna, he was gonna get going a bit. Sean O'Malley hurt his leg, albeit a leg kick. I saw Petr Yan. I played it last week. Petr Yan was, drilling some leg kicks and he looked vicious. He's strong. He's, the high guard that he just walks in like this. As he walks in, gets closer. Granted, Sean O'Malley's a counter puncher. That scares me. The height advantage, reach advantage, and the footwork. You could tell Petr Yan got frustrated against Aljamain Sterling. I'll give you that. That worries me. I wouldn't be too surprised if Sean O'Malley wins the decision. I wouldn't be too surprised with the footwork.
If Sean O'Malley wins, it's not going the distance. I can promise you that.
I can see him winning the decision.
He will be knocking Petr. Listen, you just said it right there. When Petr Yan gets stressed, when he starts breaking, when he starts getting rattled, he doesn't look that good. He goes from being one of the best boxers in the UFC to being a freaking Kevin Lee. A bum. To say the least.
I didn't even plan on saying this, but it's true. Like, I don't know why no one says it. We don't know if Sean O'Malley could take a good punch. Like, we don't know that.
Bro, do we know if Petr Yan can take a good punch?
Against Sandhagen, he took some bombs.
I guess.
We don't.
But Corey Sandhagen doesn't have power. That's what people don't understand. He's weak, dude.
Well, I was watching him against Dillashaw. He does hit guys pretty hard, but I will agree with you. He doesn't have the same power that Sean O'Malley has. And I don't want to put too much emphasis on we don't know if Sean O'Malley can take a punch because it doesn't matter if he lands first and knocks out Petr Yan. I'll grant you that. And it being a 3-round fight, like you said, favors Sean O'Malley as well, too. Petr Yan is a slow starter. I have a funny feeling, Trey, and I'm usually right 95% of the time.
Not true.
I think Petr Yan is going to come out the gate applying that pressure to Sean O'Malley like something he's never seen before. He's going to take him into deep waters, and he's going to drown him. I have it third round TKO victory for Petr Yan.
Sean O'Malley is going to get TKO'd?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
After all this hype? You think
Yes.
he's going to go 3 rounds to get TKO'd? Are you
Yes.
freaking serious, dude?
Yes.
How dare you disrespect Sean O'Malley like that and his skill and his stamina and what he brings to the table? That dude breaks records on dude's face. You understand that?
That was Chris Moutinho. Why do you keep bringing that up?
And Chris Moutinho looks just like you. You look just like Chris Moutinho.
Where has Chris Moutinho been ever since that fight?
He got his life knocked out of him. They need to, everybody's getting mad about Tua, how Miami Dolphins let Tua back in after he got a concussion, got knocked out. They need to go check on Chris Moutinho.
Which,
no, I'm being dead serious. Is that dude still alive?
Sean O'Malley couldn't get him out of there.
Is that dude still alive? That's a walking zombie right there, Miller. There was nobody home.
I think the UFC...
There was nobody home for about 40% of that fight.
I think the UFC released him, if I'm not mistaken, Trey.
Yeah, of course they did.
I think I saw something.
He's your size. He looks just like you. He's a bum. He can't fight. He can't wrestle. He got a record broken on his face. Why would they keep him?
And he could probably take a punch like me as well, too. That's fair. But listen, Sean O'Malley could have get him out of there. I believe that Petr Yan would have. Anyways, Trey, I have a third round TKO victory. What is your final prediction for this fight? And listen, I hate to keep taking your money, but if you want to extend your hand and put a little $10 on it, it's here. You don't feel forced. I know I put a lot of pressure on you all the time, and I keep taking your money. Remember this, guys. He's gonna owe me $10.
I got Sean O'Malley, and I'm gonna take. I probably took Listen, Miller probably hasn't been able to eat the
us
whole
is a
time
straight
we've been
money
off
line.
air
Right.
because, yeah, of course.
Right.
Because I've been taking so much money for him. Actually,
Not
you
true.
know what? Let me just go ahead and look and see. Let's see what the actual money lines and what the actual lines on these guys are for these fights.
I think Petr is a 3-1 favorite. I think Petr is a 3-1 favorite, which is kind of ridiculous.
That's
disgusting. I think 2-1 would have been a little bit more fair. 3-1 is kind of outrageous. And Sean O'Malley, you have to play that factor that the height and reach advantage and the power you add onto that. It's a lot. Leroy, welcome to the stream. Sorry that I'm getting back to you so late while Trey looks that up. He's also tested hot for PEDs. Let's talk about that. Says Beta. I'm going Islam 4th round TKO Aljo split decision and Jan, but I don't know how. Not gonna lie. Cole says, got you guys in the background while I'm training a client. Let's go. She's laughing, enjoying it. Tell her we said hello and to get a good workout in. Cole, thank you for having us live. No one in the top 10, let alone the top 5, says Beta. Steeler Nation says Aljo looked real good last fight. He did. TJ is hungry. Could be fight of the night. Aljo will drop TJ or choke him out. Let's go, TJ. Shock the world. We're going to be touching on that fight shortly, Steeler. So stay tuned. Steeler, welcome back. Great to have you. After watching that Sandhagen fight, says Beta, Dillashaw struggled taking down a non-grappler. Imagine someone with a BJJ background. Listen, Beta, before we get to that fight, let's just say I was pretty confident in my TJ pick against Aljo. I'm not so confident, and I'm almost ashamed to say, I don't know if that's going to be my final prediction. We'll be talking about it. Will you break down the fights? Yes, sir. Beta. I don't know if you have a Twitch, Jesus, but we were breaking down the Sandhagen versus Dillashaw fight, and we were rewatching it and scoring it all over again. We're going to start doing that on Twitch more, guys. So if you guys aren't on my Twitch, !Twitch, and you guys could follow there. What's the line, Trey?
Here we go. Live line, minus 265, Petr Yan, the favorite. Sean O'Malley, plus 190. Underdog.
Ooh, that's a nice bet to take if you're going Sean O'Malley.
Why would you not go Sean O'Malley? Not to mention Miller. Vegas also likes the way you're thinking with a possible decision. They have over 2.5 rounds, it being a 3-round fight at minus 200. It is favored to go over.
I mean, I don't just make these things up, Trey. I mean, they call me Baby Weasel, Hispanic Hawani, all these names. They call me that for a reason.
Now the fact that Vegas is so big on it going over, and just the fact that Miller thinks it's going over also lets me know that it is absolutely going under, and Sean O'Malley will be knocking him out in the 2nd round.
Petr gets it done in the 3rd. That's my final prediction. We put $10 on it. I hope to collect my money promptly because Trey takes a little bit of time sometimes when he loses bets. You have to kind of text him, send him an email. You know, he loses connectivity. Right. We're gonna be covering the preliminary.
I've taken so much money from him the last couple of weeks. That's the problem.
There's only been like 2 transactions that you won. Trey, let's move on.
And they're deep.
Let's talk about Beneil Dariush and Gamrot. This is a tough one for me. And then after that, we'll talk about Sterling and Dillashaw, then Makhachev and Oliveira. Dariush, Gamrot, Trey, what is your initial prediction, reaction to this fight? This is a tough one for me. I'll just say that. How do you feel about it?
Well, it's very simple for me. This is easy math, okay? This is how I choose a lot of my fights, and it works out because I know what the heck I'm talking about because I'm the source, I'm the king, I'm the one who gets it done. I am Mr. Intel. Never forget it. Now, simple question I have to ask myself. Do I like Gamrot? Yeah, I like Gamrot. He's pretty good. You know, he's kind of a dog. He looks pretty good. Mm-hmm. But do I like Beneil Dariush? Heck no. That dude is corny. That dude he looks like the dude Ethan off the H3 podcast, if you know what I'm talking about. That's what Beneil Dariush looks like. He's a cornball. I don't like the guy. I think he's way overrated, way overhyped. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's got some wins under his belt. He fights pretty well. But this guy is so lame. He's so corny, man.
Wait, let me show the guys that you're referring to. This is who he's referring to, guys. Pretty funny.
This man looks like Ethan off the H3 podcast.
He does look like him. Is it a good podcast, Trey?
I don't know. I don't watch it. I think that dude's a cornball.
He does look like Beneil. Okay, so you have Gamrot. Why is that?
Because I hate Vanille Dariush. I think he's a cornerball. I don't like him that much. I think he's kind of a lame guy, and I never got behind him. Every time I see him, I'm just like, no, this guy's fighting. Like, of course, they're overhyping him. They're talking about him. They're juicing him up because he's got some wins under his belt. I'm not gonna lie about that, but still, I
He's
think Gamrot's the bigger dog here. I think he's more skilled, and I think he's gonna get it done.
Listen, Benil has been on a streak. He was supposed to fight Islam Makhachev back in what was it, February of this year, and that fight got canceled. I believe it was a knee injury. No, it was an ankle injury from Dariush. Um, and I thought he was gonna maybe hold out for a title fight. He was supposed to fight Makhachev. That gets canceled. Now he fights Gamrot. Benil Dariush last couple wins: Diego Ferreira, Tony Ferguson, Scott Holtzman. As far as Gamrot, he
I mean,
fought. Yeah,
looking back on Benil Dariush's
yeah.
wins, past couple wins, it's like, I guess. I mean, we gave him Tony Ferguson for a while because we're like, oh, that's Tony Ferguson. Then we see Tony Ferguson fight a couple more times, and we're like, hey, this guy needs to get out of the UFC right now. He sucks.
Yeah, Tony Ferguson is pretty bad. Diego Ferreira, he beat by a split decision, who Gamrot beat with submission strikes in round number 2. Submission to strikes. He fought Arman Saryukian, who a lot of people feel he's the future as well too. Gave him his first loss by unanimous decision, although a lot of people felt it was a close fight. So Gamrot, I was watching one of his fights the other day. I think it was like 2-3 days ago. Southpaw style. He has beautiful strikes to the body. Benil is a good fighter as well too, a good grappler. I just think Gamrot is hot right now, Trey. I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm gonna go Gamrot. I'm just gonna go by decision. I don't know if he's gonna get the job done. I think he's gonna go the distance. What does Vegas tell you? I'm not. I promise you, I'm not even looking at what Vegas is saying. So I'm shooting.
I know. You're just copying me. Don't worry, you're just copying me. You're copying the source. You're copying the king. You're copying the one who gets it done, the Mr. Intel. That's what you're doing. You're not copying Vegas. You're copying the king, and that's okay. You can't copy me because I'm right all the time.
What does Vegas tell us, Trey?
Vegas lets us know, hey, Benil Dariush, he's good, but he's not that good because Gamrot is favorited as the fighter with a minus 190, almost 2-1 odds.
That high.
And they have Benil Dariush plus 155 as the underdog.
I wouldn't bet on that fight, I think. Maybe. I wouldn't feel too good on that.
I mean
what is it over 2.5 or over 1.5? Do they have anything like that?
The over-under is 2.5, and the over is favorited at minus 185, so they do think it's going to go the distance, possibly. I mean, Benil's a dog. You know, he lasts. He's not bad. He has a little chin on him. He can fight. He can stand up. He can fight on the ground. But Gamrot's going to take him, I think. It's going to be bad.
Trey, on Mommy, I'm not looking up the odds or over, and I've been hitting the nail on the head so far. I'm 2 for 2 as far as what I think Vegas will have it. That's just incredible. It's just like I know the sport, but
almost like you looked him up.
I promise on Mommy I didn't. On Mommy I didn't.
And when you say Mommy, are you talking about your actual mommy, or are you being pervy?
No, I'm talking about my actual. You're from the South. You guys are the ones that get more into weird stuff like that, on some Game of Thrones stuff. But anyways, I know. Maybe this is something I delete later because people from the South are gonna hate me if anybody. Anyways, Gamrot, unanimous decision win for me.
Unanimous. I think Gamrot gets him out in the 3rd round.
You think?
I think he takes him out in submission.
Guys, remember these predictions too, because we're going to be here covering the preliminary cards, going right to the main event. Let's make it the most memorable live stream that we've ever had. Should be fun. I love the Abu Dhabi cards because I could get on early. I have the rest of the day. I'm not tired. It's beautiful. So me and Trey agree on Gamrot versus Benil Dariush. Now, a fight I've been dying to talk to you about, Trey. Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw, and I feel, Trey, that I don't like the way I feel about it. That's how I feel. I don't like it. Because I was strong on Dillashaw, but I'm going to step back for a little bit and let you have the floor because maybe you could inspire me to feel good about my TJ Dillashaw pick, but I don't feel too good about it now.
Well, let me just say this. Let's not forget, okay, let's be honest. Aljamain Sterling did beat Petr Yan, but Petr Yan looked the worst he's ever looked in a fight that we have seen him since he's been in the UFC. Aljamain Sterling won the belt off of an illegal knee that should have never been happened. He hyped it up. He acted like it was a big thing in the middle of the octagon. He was in there freaking whining and crying, acting like he couldn't see, didn't know where he was at, whatever. Then he wins the belt. Everybody remembers this. He wins the belt. They put it around him. He acts like, oh, don't put it around me. I don't deserve this, all this stuff. And then the cornball leaves the apex and turns right around and gets on social media and wants to act like he's the king and starts flexing the belt and starts posting little lame pictures with it and acting all cool like he's the big bad guy and he's so tough and he just beat Petr Yan twice after he beat him for the second time, and then he's going to go up there and act all tough and act like he's the man and act like he can't be stopped and he's just a guy? I don't think so, buddy. Now let me tell you something. TJ Dillashaw hasn't been juicing up for the past 6 years just to come in here and lose the belt again, okay?
Right.
He hasn't been poking his butt with some liquid hot juice to juice his body up. He hasn't been popping pills, eating with the horses, taking some horse sterilizers and steroids to juice his body up just to come in here and lose to this little flat top bum. This little fake flexor, this cornball who thinks he's the man. Now let me say this. Aljamain Sterling, decent on the ground. Okay? He doesn't want anything to do with Bryce Mitchell on the ground. I can promise you that, because Bryce Mitchell has the best ground game in the UFC. Currently, nobody can touch him on the ground. But I will say, and let me say, Bryce Mitchell has competitors backing out of fights. He's getting big fights. They're getting scared. They're backing out of fights. He's trying to find new fighters. But Aljamain Sterling is decent on the ground. But so is TJ Dillashaw. He's no slouch on the ground. He can ground the pound. He can get on top and control the body.
No, he can't.
I don't see Aljamain Sterling coming out with this one. I see TJ Dillashaw rearing up, poking his butt. Hey, who cares if he gets fined? Who cares if they strip the belt? He whipped this bum, huh? I say juiced up the night before, TJ. I say you poke up the night before, get roided up like you're the Incredible Hulk, and you go out there and you whoop this bum. I'm so sick of seeing him. Hey, maybe we can get him out of the UFC. I know TJ Dillashaw will probably get suspended or possibly kicked out of the UFC, but TJ, you would be doing a solid for the boys. We want it done. Go in there and whip that man. I have TJ Dillashaw winning by decision.
Wow.
By decision.
Wow.
He will be whipping this man. It will go a full 5, and he will win.
Trey, I've been about roughly, and I think this is a fair number, about 86% of the time I'm right when I pick fights. It's incredible.
That's not a true stat.
This is the first time, Trey, being the Hispanic Hawani, that...
Look, I told you love him. Look at you. You're admitting things you didn't want to.
That's just what the people have been calling me. I don't want to give a prediction on this fight, Trey, because Trey, I'm a little bit ashamed, and I want to tell you why. I kind of want to change my pick, but I'm almost too prideful to do it.
This is typical little tiny boy Miller. Typical little beta Miller. Hey, tucking his tail between his legs and going and hiding in the corner. Doesn't want to choose the fight. Doesn't want to pick the fight because he can't swallow his pride. Because he can't look himself in the mirror every day and say, "Man, Trey's right again."
Listen,
it sickens him.
No, it's not that you're right. My pick initially was TJ. I kind of want to switch it over to Aljo.
Jump off the bridge, Miller. Jump off the bridge.
Let me explain. Let me explain, Trey. Listen, I watched the Sandhagen versus Dillashaw fight again. Right before the stream.
Didn't.
I did. It was live on Twitch. Beta was there. He's my witness.
Listen, and I know Beta's trying to get in your ear. That dude's a freaking idiot, Miller. Why are you listening to that guy? That dude's a dummy. He never knows what he's talking about.
Whale, thank you for becoming a sponsor of the stream. Listen, Trey, listen. I think I got to do this, man. And it hurts to do because I don't like it. I don't like it, especially if I'm wrong. You know how bad it looks. You know how bad it looks if I'm wrong, Trey. All
You're
right.
gonna be wrong. You're gonna look dumb again. Miller, you being wrong is not a problem anymore. You understand that? You're wrong all the time. Okay, you look
That's
dumb all the time.
that's
That's just a part of the job. Okay.
that's not true. I'm usually right. Trey, let me explain to you. All right. Let me just break down. It might be a little bit too high level of an analysis for you to comprehend. But we're gonna try. We're gonna try. Sandhagen versus Dillashaw. I saw a lot of scrambles that if it were against Aljamain Sterling, it would have went a whole different way. Now, I do believe Dillashaw's takedown defense is pretty damn good, right? I think he stuffs takedowns. I think he's great. I think if it's just strictly a striking fight, let's say this fight, and I know it's not, but just, travel with me through this hypothetical. If it was just a striking match, I think Dillashaw wins. Dillashaw is pretty damn crafty. He landed a nice stiff jab. He was starting to get accustomed to. Corey Sandhagen is 5'11". Aljamain Sterling is 5'7", so that reach and height advantage is not going to be as significant against Sandhagen. Maybe Dillashaw lands some big strikes. Okay, listen, these all play a factor. But as I work this out in my head, the scrambles, Dillashaw is not that damn good as far as once he gets a takedown, he doesn't really do much with it against Sandhagen. He didn't do that against Sandhagen, and I think it'll be even more dangerous against Aljamain Sterling.
His first fight back.
I think Aljamain Sterling is that annoying type of fighter where he's gonna be able to get it to the ground or get that body lock on Dillashaw, put that body lock on him, and just frustrate him. I'm not saying it's gonna be a pretty win. I'm not saying it's gonna be widespread as far as like the margin that he wins with, but I do think Aljamain Sterling is gonna find a way to get it on the ground, and he's pretty big. He's strong. Dillashaw. I think Dillashaw wins in the striking department, man. I'm torn.
Of course he wins in the striking department. He wins in the striking department. He wins in the athleticism department. He has more stamina. His IQ is better, and he has more well-rounded fighting. He just has more skill, well-rounded grappling, standing up, and all that stuff. Aljamain Sterling is a one-trick pony. That guy's done. He's fried. He had his shine. You're looking at Juliana Pena in a freaking male form. I guess a male form, a beta male form, if you ask me. Kind of female. He has feminine hips. It's okay. I don't want to talk about it. But this guy is going to lose. He's not stronger than Corey Sandhagen. I don't think Aljo's stronger than Corey Sandhagen. I think Corey Sandhagen is stronger than him. And Corey Sandhagen is scrawny. TJ Dillashaw hasn't been juicing up for 6 years, Miller, to go in there and get wrestled by this little guy.
Gun to my head. Listen, let's say a burglar comes to my house now. Boom, gun to my head. He says, pick. This is your last shot. Gun to my head. I'm going. Listen, I don't know.
Well, I guess you're dead then.
I have to pick. Give me a countdown, Trey. Give me a countdown.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
I'm going.
Bang. Yeah, you're dead. It's too late.
I'm going. I'm stalling. I hate to do this. I'm going TJ Dillashaw. I do think he's a little bit more dynamic. I do think he has a couple more weapons. I can't.
Miller following the king. Miller following the source. Miller following the one who gets it done. Mr. Intel again. I told you, Miller. I know what I'm talking about. TJ Dillashaw is going to go in there. He's going to show why he's the champ, and he's going to whip this bum.
I think TJ's going to fix the mistakes he made against Sandhagen. I think it was a little bit of ring rust. Having this opportunity to fight for the title after a 2-year layoff, the steroid accusations, his name thrown in the dirt, I do think that plays a factor in him really leaving it all out there. I'm not saying we've seen quit in Aljamain Sterling, but I think TJ Dillashaw is just going to really leave it all out there and just annoy Aljamain Sterling. Land jabs. That footwork is going to frustrate Aljo where he's maybe not going to be able to take it to the ground as much as I want to believe he is. I'm sorry if I disappointed anybody in the stream.
Here's the real question. I'm going
TJ Dillashaw.
Is TJ Dillashaw, does he have more power? Is he stronger than Petr Yan or no?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
Because I think he might be a little stronger than Petr.
He does have head kicks that are more dangerous than Petr Yan's strikes to the head, if that makes any sense. Yeah, yes. I think Dillashaw has more knockout power, if that's fair.
Man, people are forgetting how nice TJ Dillashaw was. The PEDs, I understand that, but listen, Corey Sandhagen was his first fight back, was it not? And he came in there and whooped him, and Corey Sandhagen's nice.
You ready for this, Trey?
Yep, let me hear it.
The last time Petr Yan won by knockout was July 11, 2020 in the 5th round. This is only three.
Who was it?
It was Jose Aldo. This is a 5th round fight.
Okay.
Before that, he knocked out Uriah Faber.
Everybody knocked out Uriah by now. I hate it. That's my guy.
And before that, it was Douglas Silva.
He really don't got knockout power. He's just nice at boxing and can pop some dudes.
You bring a good point, Trey. I hate to say it.
Of course. What do you mean? I'm the source. I'm the one who gets it done. I'm the king. I'm Mr. Intel.
As far as TJ Dillashaw, split decision against Corey Sandhagen. Ooh, remember how he knocked out Cody, even though Cody was chinny.
Yeah,
So
we Cody. I mean, God, dude.
We
Is
have
that
to-
dude still in the UFC or what?
I think I gotta go. I think he is. I think I have to go TJ, man. I can't. I could see the footwork. So remember with Aljamain Sterling and Petr Yan, where Aljamain Sterling frustrated Petr Yan with just kind of running away a bit, kind of like fighting off the back foot. I don't think he's gonna have that easy of a job or success against TJ Dillashaw. Dillashaw has great footwork, and he's pretty quick on his feet, crafty, and he also throws. Petr Yan is very what is it called? Not technical, which he is, but traditional striking, where TJ Dillashaw does.
He's a boxer.
He's a little, Petr Yan is more traditional in that sense, where TJ Dillashaw is a bit more unorthodox. He fights out of the southpaw stance. He gives you different looks, head kicks, angles, fights with his hands low, where Petr Yan is kind of like, just walking forward with the high guard.
Yeah, boxed up. Just group strength.
I think Dillashaw gets it done. Let me read chat real quick.
Of course he is.
Miller the type to pick both, says Tsuki.
Can they both win? That is Miller.
Oh, that's hilarious, Tsuki. I'm sorry I put you through that mental, I don't know. Aljo neutralized a pure striker and made Yan have to grapple. Dillashaw couldn't do the same thing to a pure grappler because Yan wanted to kill him and didn't have any composure without coaches, says Will Ryder. That's a good point. He did not whoop that man. B. Sandman with busted leg as well. He did have a busted leg in the first round. He did, to a pure striker in Sandhagen. I've watched that fight twice now. Dillashaw did not win that fight. No, I think Sandhagen won that fight. After rewatching it, I agree with you, Beta. That I agree with you. I'm going Dillashaw, Trey. I'm going Dillashaw.
Of course you are, because I said it, and you're going to listen to me, and I know what I'm talking about.
I'm going Dillashaw decision, and I believe you said the same thing, right?
Yeah, of course. Listen, just hop on my back. I'll take you there, Miller. If you want to be right, if you want to get the cards right and be smart and look like a good guy, follow me.
We both have Gamrot. We both have Dillashaw. Where we diverge,
Sean O'Malley.
and I have Petr Yan.
Yes.
Where I do have the edge as far as like I have the favorite.
Yeah, you do. You do have a strong favorite in Petr Yan. He's minus 265, which for all you casuals in here who don't know about making money and how betting works, that means you have to bet $265 to win $100.
Now
Now here's where we diverge again. Here's where I get back up on you.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Here's where I get smart.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where I look you in the eye and say, Miller,
Mm-hmm.
I was right again. Because when we watched Saturday in Abu Dhabi, which I expected to be insane, I expected to be packed out. I expect the energy to be high, even though it's a 2 p.m. freaking main card, which makes me sick to my stomach. Wakeboarding? I mean, come on, dude.
I'm excited. I find pleasure in you not being able to watch it. Is that weird? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm going to watch it. Don't worry about that. I'm going to watch it. But let me tell you right now.
Okay.
Not only does Islam
here we go.
have the better striking.
No, but okay.
Not only is Islam stronger standing up.
No.
Not only is Islam just as good on the ground. Not only is he stronger on the ground, not only is Islam's IQ just as high as Charles Oliveira, because let's be honest, Charles Oliveira is smart, but Islam's going to be in front of his people. And not only is he going to be in front of his people,
That could be a lot of pressure.
he's going to have Khabib in his corner. And not only is he going to have Khabib in his corner, the reason he is going to win this fight, the reason he is going to get it done, is if it's true, Islam Makhachev will have Hasbulla in his corner watching the fight. And that is 150% the reason why Islam Makhachev will walk away victorious in this fight, will walk away the bigger man, will walk away the winner, and will submit Charles Oliveira in the 4th round. And that is my final prediction. Nobody can persuade me. He's better standing up. He's better striking. He's stronger standing up. He's stronger on the ground. He's just as good as Charles Oliveira on the ground. Everything is adding up and telling me. And not only does Vegas have Islam Makhachev as a minus 185 favorite, which means you have to bet $185 to win 100. He will be winning this fight, and he will be winning in the 4th round by submission. Go ahead and lock it in. Bet that right now. I'm sure it's going to be huge money. Go do it. The source, once again, gets it done. I'm letting y'all know. Y'all probably didn't even know Hasbulla is going to be in his corner, but I'm letting you know right now. This guy is going to be the one to take out Charles Oliveira.
Trey, I got a question for you about this fight, but before I do that, what was the odds on Dillashaw and Sterling? I'm going to say Sterling minus 125.
Sterling. Now, this is where Vegas gets crazy. All right, I'm going to tell you a couple things. Sterling Shepard, minus, so he's the favorite, minus 180 to win. Almost 2-1 odds.
Wow.
TJ Dillashaw, plus 150. Now, Miller, here's where
What do they have
Vegas
it? Over
agrees.
3.5?
Here's where Vegas agrees with this.
Okay.
They have it over 4.5 over under.
Wow.
And over is favorited 2-1.
Wow. Minus
200.
Wow. I might under bet might be kind of nice, right? No?
It would be plus 165, so you bet 100, win 165. I mean, that's not
I feel like it'll go the distance. I do feel it'll go the distance.
Too.
So I just wanted to quickly know that. So okay, I had it pretty close. I said 125 is 180. Close enough.
Not close at all.
Islam Oliveira, what we were just talking about. Hasbulla being in the corner is a very serious matter. You have Hasbulla in your corner. You have Khabib in your corner. 2 GOATs. You add on to that, it's an Abu Dhabi. If it goes to the scorecards, let me ask you this, Trey. That's what I wanted to ask you earlier. Do you think, and Whale Rider, we need to watch that fight together because we watched it on Twitch earlier. Maybe we could watch it. I don't know if you have a Twitch. Maybe we'll do that one more time. Trey, if it goes to the scorecards, do you fear, if you were not biased in this situation, if it's close, that they would edge it to Islam Makhachev or no?
Well, I mean, you have to. They would go nuts if he won. You would have to fear that. And honestly, it probably does get edged this way. Rightfully so.
Let me ask you this. Who does it benefit more for the UFC? Like, if you're the UFC, who do you want to win? What benefits you more as a company, Oliveira or Makhachev?
If you're the UFC, you want Islam to win because then you have another immediate big fight and a rematch. You have another huge fight.
Depending on the outcome, though, no? Islam gets him out in the 1st round. I don't know if they're going to want to run it back so soon.
Then you have all the Charles stands that are out there. Oh no, he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it was, and then they're gonna immediately say, "Well, it was 1st round. That's a fluke." Like obviously, you can go into the whole thing, But anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna be right. Islam's gonna win either way. I'm glad you're already second guessing yourself, wondering if Islam wins, what's gonna happen, all this stuff. I think the UFC wants Islam to win. It gives them an immediate another huge fight. And if he beats Charles Oliveira again, now you have a new guy.
This is where I'm not gonna switch sides, and I didn't switch sides earlier. I contemplated it, but that's what a real man does.
After I talked, you switch sides.
He struggle. A real man struggles with doubt, although being the greatest of all time happens to the best of them, to the worst of them. I think that's very normal. I was about to go towards Aljamain Sterling as far as switching sides, but I didn't. Now with this one, I'm absolutely not switching sides. Charles Oliveira, his length, dexterity, punching power. You heard what Justin Gaethje said, right, Trey? When Charles Oliveira hit me, Gaethje says, I'm paraphrasing, I felt it in my tongue. No one ever said that about Islam Makhachev. Gaethje never said that about anybody else he fought, a Khabib, a Poirier, or anybody. He said that about Oliveira. Oliveira puts a lot into all his punches, which kind of worries me a little bit because, he overextends, he's going to get taken down, and then it's going to be a fight on the ground. I'll admit, I don't want it to go to the ground much. We saw Oliveira training a little bit of the hip toss if he gets put his back against the cage. I think Oliveira has the power to knock out Islam Makhachev if he lands cleanly. I think he has the submissions that if he finds himself on the back of Islam to submit Islam. Islam does scare me with his wrestling acumen. If he just stays on top, if he grounds and pounds, he could make it a boring fight. I'll say that. And he could win a boring fight. But how many times have we doubted Oliveira, Trey? Let's be honest. You doubted him against Gaethje. You remember that?
I did. Yes, I do remember that.
And who was right? Me. Dustin Poirier.
One of the 4 fights you got right this year. Congratulations.
Dustin Poirier. Remember who you had winning that fight?
Yeah, that's number 2 of 4.
And who was right again? Where I said, listen, I'm done doubting Charles Oliveira. I was right again.
Actually, let me say this because I think I was on Charles Oliveira on that one because Justin Gaethje, I looked at him, I told you, hey, he had his championship against Conor. He had his money fight against Conor. This dude is done. He's fried. Get him out of here. And I think that was the fight that I said, hey, Charles has got this guy. Dustin sucks. So
You're doubting?
We're both right on that. Thank you.
You're doubting Oliveira yet again. And listen, I know MMA math doesn't work that way. Why? Because Gaethje, Poirier, all of these fighters that Oliveira has beaten are not as good on the ground as Islam Makhachev. That's fair to say. So you can't really compare Islam to a Gaethje to a Poirier. This is a different fight, Trey. That's what scares me. I'll admit, that's what scares me.
This is what I'm trying to tell you, Miller. He's fighting a dude who is stronger than him on the ground. He hasn't done that yet. He's fighting a dude who's just as skilled as him on the ground. He hasn't done that yet. He's fighting a dude who's just as good standing up as he is on the ground. He hasn't done that yet. He's fighting strikers. He's fighting Justin Gaethje's. He's fighting Poirier's. He's fighting Michael Chandler's. Now listen, all them guys decent on the ground. Tony Ferguson. I wouldn't even mention that name in with the rest of them these days. Tony Ferguson sucks now.
Right.
But he's fighting guys who are known as strikers who can wrestle on the ground, who can get some ground and pound a little bit. I mean, they're not awful on the ground. Justin Gaethje, I think he has a black belt or something like that. But he's
Justin
not
is
fighting
pretty awful on the ground. Yeah.
Islam Makhachev. He's not fighting a dog in the octagon who can wrestle him and is stronger than him and take him down with ease. He's not fighting a Khamzat Chimaev type guy. But now he is. Now he's fighting a dude, a style he's never fought yet. Now he's fighting a guy who can hang with them in all aspects of the fight. Not going to stand up with them, knock Charles Oliveira down, and tell him to get back up. No, Islam's going to go down there on him. He's going to get on top of him. He's going to use his top ground game on him, and he's probably going to get him out of there pretty quickly. Because that's what Islam does. Islam is a dog. He's stronger. He's bigger. He's got the power.
It's been a while since Oliveira has lost. The last time he lost was 2017 against Paul Felder. Ever since he's been on a tear. What scares me is you look at his path to victory, round 1, round 2, most of them, or guillotine choke in round 3. This is a 5-round fight. If he doesn't get Islam out of there, I don't see Islam getting tired. That scares me. I don't see Islam slowing down. I can see Oliveira slowing down a bit. And then if Islam is starting to get takedowns over and over again.
What's the age difference on that? How old is Charles? Like 33, 34?
It's a great question. I will tell you.
Islam's like 27, and he 28.
In 1 second.
I mean, I'm probably right on this. I know exactly what I'm talking about. So.
Oliveira, what did you say with Oliveira?
33, 34?
33. What did you say about Islam?
Like 27, maybe 28.
Way off. 31.
Oh yeah, he's way older.
Yeah. He's so 33, 31. Oliveira's in the prime of his career, Trey. I'm done
and
doubting.
Islam's just getting into his, and Islam's just getting it. It's not Miller. Let me tell you something, buddy. It's okay. Listen, let me talk you off the edge a little bit. It's not doubting a fighter when you're talking about a better fighter. It's just like, hey, he's good. He was the champ. He had a great run, but now there's a better fighter. It's the same thing that's going to happen with Izzy and Alex Pereira. The better fighter's just here. He's going to take over. You know, it just happens. That's the food chain. That's how it works.
Can I share something with you? And I'm a little hesitant to do so. Just hear me out. Travel with me here. All right, take this ride with me. Islam has been knocked out before.
Yes, very, very early in his career.
2015.
Like I said, very, very early in his career.
Khabib had the stigma that you can't stop this guy, you can't hurt this guy. Oliveira has punching power to knock someone out. It was against Adriano Martin a long time ago, 2015. I just don't think Islam is that great of a striker. What if Oliveira stuffs some takedowns and starts landing the knees, the elbows out of the clinch? I really think it's Oliveira's time right now, his reign. I think he's gonna. My final prediction, I think Oliveira's gonna get him out of there in the third round.
So you don't think it goes the full 5?
No, I think if it goes the distance, that favors Islam Makhachev. And I know, like, it's crazy because in the MMA world, if you pick Oliveira, people are like, are you crazy? Islam's a better wrestler. It's obvious. Oliveira has been hurt so many times. He has 8 losses on his career. Islam is an easy winner. Now, you could flip the table and say Islam hasn't fought anybody in the top 5. Who has Islam fought? Nobody's. Bobby Green, Dan Hooker, 2 strikers.
Oh, really? When everybody was hyping up Bobby Green, saying Bobby Green was going to beat Islam and he was going to take him out and that was going to be the guy to do it. Are we serious? Now we got Bobby Green taking PEDs and he still can't even win a fight and he's on drugs?
If Bobby Green is on the ground, there's no way he wins that fight, right? And I think that's what everybody says. Now, Oliveira, you take him to the ground. Oliveira could fight from there. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, he can fight from there, but I'm telling you, there's somebody better on the ground. And he's, unfortunately, for Oliveira, he's going to be in the octagon with that guy. Now, let me blow your mind, Miller. Now, let's get into what Vegas is talking about.
Wait. Before you tell me.
What Vegas is...
Can I guess? Can I guess? I know you're going to tell me. Let me guess.
Yeah, I know you just looked it up, but go ahead and guess.
On Mommy, I didn't. I've been spot on all day. I haven't missed one all day. I'm going to say Islam. He's a minus. He might be as high as -2. That'll be outrageous if they do Oliveira. He should be champ right now. I'm gonna say -225 because Vegas they're just insane. I'm gonna say -225 Islam.
Islam, you think he's the favorite?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least you're reasonable enough to know that Islam should be favorited. That's good.
So it's not that bad?
It's not that bad. Islam is favored -185.
That was going to be my initial pick, I promise, but I was like, Vegas is going to make it a little bit more wide. Okay.
-185, which is crazy, I'm going against everything I'm saying right now, but if I was to bet on this fight, I would bet on Oliveira because he's a +155.
I was just about to say, right.
I mean, if you like Charles Oliveira, now's the time to bet him because this is probably as high as he's going to get. If he wins this fight, he'll be -300 for the next 6 fights he has. Now, here's where things get very crazy. Now, we're talking about a 5-round fight. We're talking about Charles Oliveira. We're talking about Islam Makhachev. Dogs, guys who can get in there and battle and have won.
I might bet the under, depending on what it is. Talk to me on what's the under.
The over under for this fight. Now we look at some of the past fights. We have Sean O'Malley. His is 2.5, which
Right,
means
right,
and it was favored to go over. They thought it would go all 3 rounds. Okay.
right.
Now we go to TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah.
Theirs is a 5-round fight. Okay, that's a
Right,
championship fight. Their over under was 4.5, and it was favored
Right.
minus 200 for it to go over 4.5 rounds, which means Vegas thinks it's going to go all 5 rounds. Now we come to Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira.
I'm assuming under 3.5.
A 5-round fight,
Uh-huh.
which makes you think, okay, 3.5, 4.5, it's got to be the over under.
Right.
But what if I was to tell you
Is it
that
2.5?
Vegas has the over-under at 1.5?
That's ridiculous. Wow. And what's the numbers
Now
on
listen, ladies and gentlemen. I will say, under 1.5 rounds is the underdog. It's plus 120, which is still crazy to me. It's only plus 120. They have over 1.5 at minus 150. If I am anyone gambling right now, I'm putting $2,000 on over 1.5 rounds for Islam Makhachev and Charles Oliveira.
I agree.
The fact that they have it at 1.5 rounds, I could see this going up later in the week, possibly to 2.5 rounds. I mean, that is absolutely insane. That blows my mind. I did not think that I would see that. But that also lets me know Islam Makhachev minus 185. That means Vegas really likes him. Over 1.5 rounds favored, but only minus 150. So that tells me Vegas thinks there is a very, very strong possibility that Charles Oliveira could be getting finished in the first round, possibly early second round, because you got 1.5 rounds. So that means by the 2:30 mark in the second round, if they haven't ended the fight, then it goes over. You know what I'm saying? Because it's 1.5 rounds. But that lets me know that Vegas is very keen to Charles Oliveira losing in the first round.
I think I'm betting that over for sure.
I would slam the over. Me too.
Yeah,
I don't like the under at all. I think that's insane. The fact that it's 1.5 rounds, which makes me kind of hesitant because it's like, that's weird. Why would Vegas do that? They know what they're talking about. Like, that's kind of odd. So I don't know what's going to... I mean, I don't know what they're thinking there. That's insane to me. I did not expect to see 1.5 rounds.
Maybe they know something we don't, but that is a little bit insane to me as well, too. I would bet a good amount that it goes over 1.5 rounds because both of their grappling is good enough to get themselves out of trouble no matter who has their back taken.
Yeah, and I don't see them coming out like, I mean, maybe I see Islam just rushing for a takedown immediately, but I don't know. I think they size each other up for about 2 minutes.
I think it, I have Oliveira finishing it in the third round, maybe fourth. I'm gonna go third. What is your final prediction, Trey? How do you have this?
I love Islam. I love him by submission. I see it ending on the ground and in the fourth round. Yes.
So there's only 2 fights for us. We're at odds with the Islam Makhachev fight against Oliveira. I have Oliveira. You have Makhachev. I have Jan. You have O'Malley. That's pretty interesting. Now,
and I'm gonna be right again. I'm gonna sweep this card again. I'm the source. I'm the one who gets it done. I'm the king. I'm Mr. Intel. I do this all the time. Now that's okay because you're still gonna get 2 fights right, and that's good for you.
I think this is fair to say before we finish up, Trey. Let's do this. Let's make this a little parlay. If for some reason I'm not gonna put more money on it, I'm not gonna financially stranglehold you. Whoever hits their parlay, as far as, let's say I'm right, Jan Oliveira, or you're right, Makhachev O'Malley, I would just like a public announcement, Twitter, Instagram. You know, MillerDC showed me all I know about MMA, and that has to be a tweet that stays up forever.
So you're saying if you sweep me, if you get
in that 2-leg parlay, and
listen, if you get Petr Yan and Charles Oliveira out, I will put out a tweet saying but you're my daddy. You know everything about UFC.
Yes, and you can't deny it whenever someone asks you about it. That's
Now,
that's
if
about
we
it.
go 1-1 on those fights,
No,
nobody's
bets
putting
off.
out a tweet.
Bets off.
All right.
I think that's pretty nice. I'm gonna take your $10 on the Jan O'Malley and then a little parlay
No.
on this one, just to make it interesting. I haven't read chat in forever. The conversation got intense. It has been an hour and 15 minutes. Great podcast today. Let me just catch up with chat a little bit, and then we will give our closing thoughts. I want to see how Islam deals with Charles on his back. If Charles gets on the back of Islam, I think he finishes it well. I'm sure Islam should tire earlier being that built. Yeah, and especially if he goes for a lot of takedowns, Whale. I saw you guys debating the Sandhagen-Dillashaw fight earlier. Beta says, I think Izzy wins this one on some third time's a charm. Yes, I might be switching my pick on that as well too, Beta. It's crazy. He definitely beats Vittori's ass. Yeah, absolutely. I don't understand how Vittori is top 5, honestly. Vittori has been improving, but he got dominated by Whitaker. He's just not, in that division, he's never going to be champ, as sad as that sounds. He does have that blockhead for sure. Yeah, he could take like a punch all day, all night. I don't think he looked bad in those fights. Middleweight, top 5, just actually, that division is just tough. Now Alex Pereira making his way in there. That's just crazy. I can't see Alex P beat Rob Costa, Marv, or Cannonier. I could see him beating, maybe not Rob. I see him beating Costa and Marvin Vittori and Cannonier, honestly. Beta, I wasn't impressed at all in the Costa fight. He's lost his other 2 fights of the last 3. I can see him beating Cannonier. And then finally, that Costa fight was honestly one of my favorites last year. Was XXL Costa and was undersized and still won. LO took bombs like no one else. All right, guys. Just wanted to catch up with chat a little bit. Trey, closing remarks. It's good to have you back. Happy belated, my guy. I hope you had a great time. Congratulations to your girlfriend for putting up with you. That must be really tough to do on a daily basis.
Right. She's blessed to have me.
That's debatable. Any closing remarks, Trey?
Episode 21. Yeah. Hey, 21. We're legal now.
We had really good viewership today, by the way, Trey. I was peeping.
I love that. Of course we did, because I'm back and I'm the source. I'm the one that gets it done. I'm the king. I'm Mr. Intel. I told y'all again, I'm back again, baby. I left hot and I'm back hot. I'm coming to sweep this card. I'm going to be right about every single fight. I'm Miller's daddy. He listens to me. Y'all seeing it today, chat. He wants to talk trash with me. He wants to talk about my picks. He wants to say I can't do this stuff and I don't know what I'm talking about. And then this guy picks all the fights I'm talking about. And I'm changing his mind on TJ Dillashaw. And I'm convincing him and letting him know.
I initially had
the
Dillashaw.
Inside source. You didn't have Dillashaw. It's okay though. I'm gonna be right about Dillashaw. I'm gonna be right about Sean O'Malley when Sean O'Malley goes in there and has the craziest counter punch of his life and knocks Petr Yan into oblivion, and I can stand there victorious looking at every one of you bums, letting you know that I am the source. I am the king. I'm the one that gets it done. I don't care what you have to say right now, Miller, because I'm right. No, you don't get to say anything.
A question. How
say your dumb question.
I don't think I've asked you this. How surprised would you be if Sean O'Malley loses?
It would blow my mind, because Sean O'Malley's the future GOAT. He's going to go in here and win this Petr Yan fight, and then he's going to get the title shot next, and it's going to be incredible. And he's going to win the title, and he's going to be the champion for a long time. I've told y'all this. I stand by it. I mean, listen, this is nothing new to me. I've been predicting these things for months now, since the beginning of the year. You can go back and see my history. I'm way smarter than Miller tries to put me out to be. I'm the best one to ever do this. I'm the best capper in the freaking league. Nobody does it better than me. I know what I'm talking about. Not Yanni, not the Guru, not anyone, not Drew, not Miller, not nobody. It doesn't matter. I do this. Now, also, let me say, Islam Makhachev will go in there. He will dog Charles Oliveira. Miller will look like a dummy again. And after I win this parlay, Miller's going to type a nice, juicy little tweet to me telling me I'm the king, I'm the source, I'm the one that gets it done, I'm Mr. Intel. And that's why I am the man. And I will do it again. I will sweep this card. All you little fanboys can keep chatting in there, acting like I don't know what I'm talking about. I ain't do this. But y'all see it every week. I come in here and I'm right, and y'all are sick to y'all stomachs in here typing and chatting to me, acting like I don't know what I'm doing. But that's it. I'm out of here. I told you, if you don't remember what I said, go watch it back. Hold it. I'm taking $10 from Miller, and he's sending me a juicy tweet. I'm gone. I'm the source. I'm the one who's doing it. I'm Mr. Intel. I don't have the hat, but support 2A, and we out of here, baby.
There you have it, guys. Trey Melton. It's so good to come back with another episode. This was episode 21, guys. It feels great. It feels amazing to have another episode. It's good to have Trey back. It's good to give our predictions. We'll finally be live really early for this one. We'll be live early for the preliminary cards. We're gonna probably have like a 4 or 5 hour stream. Probably like 4 hour stream, maybe 5 hours. So be here, guys, for that. Be here for UFC 280 live stream. Let's make it the biggest, most memorable one. Will Ryder, have a good night. Beta, have a good night. We're going to start adding Twitch streams frequently, guys. So keep on the lookout for that. We have a Discord in case you want to know, when do you announce your live? Discord, Twitter, and IG. I'm putting everything in the chat in case you guys are wondering. This weekend is going to be memorable, and we're going to be live early, like around 10:30 a.m. It's going to be crazy. I truly, truly can't wait. Guys, be on the lookout for that. #1 commentary channel on YouTube. And I can't wait for you guys because it's going to be a lot of fun. You heard my picks. I'll give it to you guys one more time. I have Oliveira. I have TJ Dillashaw. I have Petr Yan. And I have Gamrot. Those are my picks for this weekend. It'll be like 10:30 a.m. Eastern, Borracho. Hit the bell for post notifications. I hope you get the notifications. I know the YouTube does me dirty sometimes, but we're growing this channel immensely, guys. 6,600 subscribers. Thank you to all my members of the channel. I'm going to be really trying to add more perks to that, guys. You guys are growing this channel so fast. It's crazy. Can't wait till we get to 7,000, 10,000, all that. Twitch streams are going to be coming around more as well, too, guys. Said that earlier. Final picks, TJ Dillashaw, Oliveira, Gamrot, and Petr Yan. Those are my picks. Let me know your guys' picks. We'll be live early on Saturday around 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. I'm assuming that's like super early for you guys in the West Coast, like around 8 a.m., 7:30. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Again, thank you, guys. Thank you, because we are growing this channel so quickly, and it's insane. All the support that I've been getting from you guys. And it's only Monday, so if I could sneak in a stream on Thursday, I'll do that. We haven't talked some boxing, like the Wilder fight, the Haney fight, what's on the horizon as far as for Spence and Crawford and maybe Andy Ruiz versus Wilder. There's so much to talk about, guys. I'm just happy to be back. So I'm going to end it here. Be here, guys, for the stream on Saturday. I'll try to make some content in between. Much love. God bless, guys. Thank you once again. Love you guys. Peace.
I'm the best ever.
Have a good night, Cole.
I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one.
Much love, Cole. Thank you for the support, the ongoing support. Hope you had a good training with your client. See you guys. Peace.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize for absolutely nobody. The double champions of the he wants.
Wilder's in a world of trouble, closing seconds. Can he weather the storm here in the third round?
And of all the superlative.
Big right hook, lands flush for Cambosos, and that knocks down Teofimo Lopez. We have ourselves a fight.
Khabib Nurmagomedov gets a triangle choke from up top. Gaethje's out, and the fight is over. The triangle choke for Khabib Nurmagomedov.
And Porter gets knocked down. He gets knocked down again. 10th round TKO win. Left uppercut, and then knocks out Leo. It appears he's out cold. The fight is over. It was a counter left uppercut, and just like that, what a left uppercut. I did not see that coming, ladies and gentlemen. I will have to admit, what a fight.
Nice celebration or a 3K video. I don't know, man. To hit 3,000 subscribers in like
Right hook to the body for Campbell. Left hook to the body for Garcia. And that knocked down Campbell. It was a left hook to the body. Campbell on the ground. The count is on. Can he make his way up? It appears he can't get up. Campbell on the ground. Trying to stand up. And the fight is over. Ryan Garcia with a 7th round knockdown. What a performance.
guys, if you haven't, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers.
Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. We're trying to do record numbers saying Ryan Garcia tearing up and crying. What a performance for Ryan Garcia.